In this video, we're going to be diving into some of Ringo Starr's most legendary drum parts, and we're going to be breaking them down so you can start playing along with some of your favorite songs by the Beatles. Let's dive in.
Come together right now over me.
Come Together is one of the most popular drum grooves of all time. It's one of those grooves that anyone can recognize even if they don't play drums. Now, when you listen to the tom part in the intro section, you can hear that Ringo actually has tea towels on his drums. So just like I have here, Ringo would drape them over the toms and he'd actually play them like this. So let's check out the groove. Now, in the drumming community, this is probably one of the most controversial and debated drum parts out there. A lot of drummers think that Ringo started on the floor tom because he's left-handed and worked his way up the toms.
When I was born, I was left-handed, but my grandmother thought I was overpowered by witches and made me write with my right.
So I have a right-handed kit that I lead with my left.
But here at Drumeo, we've analyzed the track, and when we listen to it, you can hear that the toms actually descend in pitch, going from highest tom to lowest tom.
Baby's good to me, you know she's happy as can be, you know she said so. I'm in love with her and I feel fine.
Next up is Ringo's groove on the song I Feel Fine. In this track, the drum groove has a Latin R&B vibe similar to what you would hear on the classic Ray Charles tune, What Did I Say, with Milt Turner on drums. This style of drumming is at the soul of Ringo's playing, as this was what he was immersed in as a young musician. So this is a tough groove to get up to speed, specifically because of what you're playing on the ride cymbal. So when you're working on this, make sure you take your time. But first of all, I want to play just the ride cymbal part for you slowly, and then we'll put it with the whole groove. Take your time with the ride cymbal part, and right now let's put all of this together and let's play the whole groove up to speed.
Baby's good to me, you know she's happy as can be, you know she said so. I'm in love with her and I feel fine. I think I'm gonna be sad, I think it's today.
All right, now let's check out the song Ticket to Ride. So this music video is one of my favorites from the Beatles because you can literally see Ringo standing up behind the drum kit, playing one of the most legendary drum parts of all time. Now, the tricky thing about this groove is what happens on beats 3 and 4. So first, let's check out the isolated drum track so you can really hear what Ringo is doing. Now, some may argue that beats 3 and 4 are played as quarter note triplets, and others will argue that only the last tom hit is played on a triplet partial. The truth is, the part isn't played metronomically perfect, that's just the way the band played it. So if you really want to play this part right, follow along with Ringo.
I think I'm gonna be sad, I think it's today, yeah. The girl that's driving me mad is going away. She's got a ticket to ride. There are places I remember all my life, though some have changed.
One of Ringo's grooves that goes under the radar is what he plays on the song In My Life, and one of the best parts about it is how much space that he leaves throughout the groove. Now, rather than playing solid eighth notes throughout the entire bar on the hi-hats, which is a pretty standard choice, Ringo picks one single note per bar to play on the hi-hats. And the result is a deceptively simple sounding linear groove that's super cool.
There are places I remember all my life, though some have changed, some forever, not for better. Some have gone and some remain.
in the song Tomorrow Never Knows, Ringo takes a single groove and lays it down throughout the entire track. Now, an important note when you're working on this, if you want to get an authentic sound like Ringo, you want to make sure that you're playing the ride cymbal with the shoulder of the stick playing on the edge of the ride cymbal. You'll also hear more percussive sounds within the track, and these are tape loops, reverse cymbal sounds, and tambourines.
Turn off your mind, relax and pull downstream. It is not dying. It is not dying. Lay down all those.
So Ringo was playing a lot of really interesting parts in the later years with the Beatles, and if you want to check out some others, there's a video right here on the Drumeo channel that I think you'll really like. So with that, let's move on and let's check out Here Comes the Sun. The bridge in Here Comes the Sun uses a few different time signatures, 11/8, 4/4, and 7/8. But an easier way to think about this, rather than switching time signatures every bar, is thinking about it starting with 3s and then switching to 2s. Now, another way you could think of this is using a bar of 5/4 followed by 2 bars of 4/4. And in this case, the cymbal crash at the beginning would just be considered a pickup. So in that demo, one thing you will notice is that drum fill in the last bar, you're actually going to have to play left-hand lead like Ringo does, starting with the left hand on the snare, moving over to the floor tom, and then moving your left hand up to the rack toms. So just keep that in mind when you're playing this one.
Don't let me down. Don't let me down.
The opening groove in the song Don't Let Me Down is one of my favorite Ringo parts. He's playing just simple 8th notes on the hi-hats, but what's cool is he's actually throwing in some ghost notes as 16th notes, and he's actually swinging them a little bit. So it creates this really cool feel. But fast forwarding to the end of every 2 bars, where he's playing in line with the vocals, he actually straightens out the 16ths, so you get this mix of a straight feel and a swing feel, which is classic Ringo. So this is what the groove sounds like.
Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. You're asking me will my love grow? I don't know. I don't know.
Next up, we're looking at what Ringo plays in the bridge section from Something. Here, Ringo creates a really cool rolling triplet groove across the toms and over to the hi-hats. Now, one thing to take note of is, of course, Ringo is a left-handed drummer, so when you're up here starting that triplet pattern on the rack tom, you want to make sure you're starting that with the left hand, because that's going to let you move down to the floor tom, back over to the hi-hats, and start the pattern again. If you start that with the right hand, you're going to be tripping up all over your hands, so just keep that in mind.
You're asking me will my love grow? I don't know. I don't know. You stick around.
So those are some of Ringo's most legendary drum grooves that he played with the Beatles. I hope you enjoyed this lesson and you actually take some of these to your kit and try them out for yourself. Now, down in the comments, let me know which one was your favorite, or if there's another Beatles or Ringo groove that you want to see broken down here on the Drumeo channel. And with that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Cheers.